Are we live? What's good, great people? I am Ezel Moon, and I have a special guest in the building today. Filmographer, photographer, event planner. Geez, she has a lot of different titles, you guys. But an overall amazing person, going from coast to coast, even touching the third coast, filming a bunch of different protests and uprising and being involved in them herself. I have Ashley Dorelus joining us for a frank conversation. I want to give a big shout out to my sponsor this evening, and that is My Heart and Soul Essentials. Definitely check them out for their shea butter. And if you want to be the sponsor of a frank conversation, definitely just shoot me a DM and we can definitely get that set up. Let's see. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. How are you, King?
I'm well. How are you this evening, Queen?
I'm well. I'm tired. I'm a little bit groggy. I got a tetanus shot earlier.
Oh man, are you? I know you tired and groggy, but you know what else are you feeling? You all right?
Yeah, no. I'm alive. Shit, I'm alive. I ain't no complaints. No complaints.
Well, look, we thankful that you're here. Thankful that you bringing the best energy you possibly can to this one. I'm just happy. I'm happy to see you. I mean, honestly, through looking through, through your different things that you've done, I feel like a tetanus shot isn't something that's gonna hold you down at all.
You're funny.
I feel like you.
What up, Sleuth Gang?
Look, I feel like you've been through enough of the Sleuth Gang to a tetanus shot ain't nothing.
No, absolutely. I definitely know that's why I'm like, honestly, they should have been shooting us with tetanus shots. Might have slowed us down on the front line a little bit.
Man, look, you and Smash. Being on the front lines, of all these different protests, I wonder, because you have posts where you mentioned mental health, and I wonder how has that really just impacted your overall mental state, especially as you continue to move and to document different things.
I can definitely tell you I was a lot happier before the revolution. Shit, I definitely was I definitely know that saying that ignorance is bliss is probably the most cliche of all cliches, but it's 100% factual because and I always say the revolution because unfortunately this is my first revolution. This is my first uprising. This is my first time. I know that many people said back in the day if they were with Malcolm X or if they were Martin Luther King, they would do this, they would do that. Well, we don't have that time, so this is the only time. So now it's like we're literally creating our own history right now. And I know that before, while I was bartending and events managing, I used to think that bride and groom messing up something that's traumatic or something like that. But now I'm just like, damn, we really dropping bodies every day. My whole timeline has completely changed. I never cared about climate control. I never cared about the houseless community. I didn't care about any of that stuff. And this revolution completely just changed my whole life upside down because I was like, damn, man, nah, that's we gotta care. Because if nobody cares, then we all fuck.
Do you feel like as your focus has, shifted, your vision of what success is and, has shifted as well?
Not really. I think that's the one thing that me and the comrades on the ground differ because while they're screaming death to America and fuck capitalism, I'm still trying to be a millionaire. So it's we have different mindsets on that foreground, but that's what I love about this is that everybody is different and everybody else moves at their own rate. So I'm not going to judge anybody on doing what they do. I just know that I'm here for the liberation of Black people. So until that happens,
for you, I know you've been traveling across the U.S. since May 29th, 2020. And as you've been documenting the different uprisings from coast to coast, you mentioned, what your mindset is, right, and what part of your goals are. But I wonder, are there some universal mindsets, from the East Coast to the West Coast down to the third coast? I'm from Houston. I saw you documented in Houston, so I'm from there.
If you could just be I understand that collective Black liberation is something that we're not going to achieve or obtain at all because all Black people still believe liberation differently. But if there was a clear consent, all across the board, what people would want, it's police accountability first off and foremost. I know that there's clashes between the slogan "defund the police" within different generations. I just want people to understand that they are well aware that they're not going to get the police defunded immediately. They know abolishment isn't going to happen immediately, but it's not that it's inevitable. You just got to keep pushing for it. And that's why I know that if you just ask anybody across the board, no matter what political line they stand or anything like that, if you asked about police accountability, everybody across the board would tell you, yes, we need police to be held accountable. George Floyd was not the only black man that was killed on that day that was recorded. It just happened to be, it happened that it was sensationalized so much, and we're so deep, like, I swear we're deprogrammed to care. We are so desensitized. Yeah. We're so desensitized that, like, when it happened, I didn't even realize how important it was, or the time I heard it. When they started marching down in Oakland, that's when I was just like, oh shit, George Floyd, like, what was that guy that died by that cop? Like we not even thinking about it because we just see so much of it happening. So I know that is one thing I know for sure. East Coast, West Coast, it don't matter. It don't matter what side, what Crips, blood, whatever you want, police accountability.
Right. So police accountability is one of the universal mindsets, but what do you feel like about the different approaches, to
that's the problem. I remember I read across a post that said that back in the day, Martin Luther King was trying to gather men, women, and children to lead this movement, and now we have, like, how do you gather bitches and hoes and all this type of stuff? We got Hot Girl Summers, we got City Boys, we got all this type of, like, how do we try to herd all these type of people together now? So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I haven't found that yet. If someone else has found it, please enlighten me. I done been to like over 29 cities and counting, and I still have not found that answer to your question.
I feel that. Now, I feel as if there's, because you said you touched on capitalism, as far as, like, there are people that are saying, hey, death to capitalism and things of that nature. But that there are those that are with lobbyists, that people that are trying to put a lot of money within politicians' pockets to make sure that things go in their way. I wonder, what are your thoughts on having people like that, with your agenda?
I feel like it's one and the same. If you look at who funds BLM, you'll know it's George Soros. So it's like, right. You can't really run away from the white man, as much as we keep saying it, as much as we keep trying to act like we're going to do it. But it's very hard until we can actually step away. It's so, like, sad to me because I think I had more hope last year. Like, I believe that I had more hope pre-COVID, pre-revolution, because I actually believed that, like, you can make a change. But then as I started going across the country, and I literally had witnessed, just look at Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. We still have not seen justice for Breonna Taylor, and Breonna Taylor died 2 months prior to George Floyd. We needed the entire world to scream Black Lives Matter, and for us to even get the decision that we got on 420. Like, I want people to be so clear and, like, how hard it is for Black people to get anything. That, like, even with the world crying and the world on your side, we barely could get that. But you'll see that, we're still fighting for the George Floyd Act. We're still fighting for police reform. We're still fighting for all this. Like, it's like, I feel like it's inevitable, but I mean, it'll come if people really care about Black people. If we really could put aside everything and do it for the name of Black liberation, it will happen.
What does Black liberation look like to you? Once we let's say the revolution, was able to get all of its bullet points, I guess rights passed, or things taken care of to the point where we all felt like we could take a collective deep breath as a community and say, hey, it's been done. What would the world look like?
Let's see, what type of utopia are we talking about? It's like it's damn near like you got to choose between a utopia or utilitarianism. So I'm like, I know exactly what revolution would look like for me, but I know damn well that's not gonna happen. I mean, if we wanted to be so clear, we're talking about a 400-year head start. Like, when you look at that, you know what I'm saying? Like, people automatically gonna get upset at what you want, like, as reparations, restitution, whatever you want to call it. Like, people already gonna get upset at it. So that's why I can't even imagine it, because I'm like, at the end of the day, we always gonna have to be told, like, Like, we shouldn't be begging for anything. We should just get over it. We should just be content and happy with what we got. So I just feel like, I mean, in layman's term, if you could just like cancel my student loans, give me perfect credit, like if you could just like allow me, like, let's be real, this 40 acres and a mule, we're not gonna get that. But you feel me? If you can give me 22 and a horse, I'm okay. Like, we just gotta compromise. Like,
so our people, so it would look like we would get land as well as resources that, you know, we've basically been denied
a fair share. Like, let's be real. Give us perfect credit. Give us freaking cancel all of our debts. I ain't just talking about the student loan. Cancel all of our debts. Like, just look, just if you shake that foundation, just that alone will shake people. That's not fair.
Right.
That's not. And I'm like, and I'm not talking about the other people that, like, all the black people that worked hard and they got it out. Nah, give them a refund. Nah, give them a refund. They already did it. Give them a refund. Everybody gonna eat. I'm not saying this shit. I can't be mad that I didn't pay up and I can't get my refund either. I'm really trying to be realistic, but I know that they will not do that. Like, I was watching while, you know, we were screaming Black Lives Matter. You have people rebuttal with All Lives Matter. But then when you scream, stop Asian hate, I ain't hear nobody say no, stop all hate. You know, when we saying free Palestine, I ain't hear nobody saying, free everybody. So it's evident, like, people need to stop acting like it don't exist. I'm well aware that whenever you're dealing with black people, we gonna woo.
What do you feel? What are your thoughts about, you know, the black people, like, you know, as far as like those of who are melanated in different cultures, you know, because I've recently seen documentaries as far as like the darker skinned Asians being discriminated against, the dark skinned Hispanic people being discriminated against amongst, you know, those in their same area. So, you know, I wonder, you know, where do they fit in, you know, as far as the vision goes?
Whatever they want. Look, we could go around, everybody write their list. We would never get any of it done. Like, this is why I can't. It's so hard. You could pose this to any other culture and be like, what does liberation look like yours? And they can give you an answer. They can give it to you. Black people can't give you an answer because we can't. In our dreams, when we think about liberation, the white man wake us the fuck up and say, don't even think about it. So it's like, we don't even have that option. I'm scared to dream about it because I might fall asleep. My dream might be too good. I might not want to wake up. You feel me? The simulation too juicy. So that's why I'm like, yeah, no, let's just worry about something that we can achieve. Let's not stop asking, what is collective black liberation look for you? Let's not ask, what's the end goal of the revolution? I don't want an end goal. I never wanted it to exist to begin. That's my problem. See, everybody wants black people to come up with an answer. I never wanted to come up with a solution. I just never wanted to be the problem. Thank you.
Right. That's real. That's definitely real. You know, it's not a burden that anyone ever wanted to have to carry. You know, especially you know, those who, you know, because it seems as if we're portrayed as the problem. You know, even though we've provided so many different solutions to so many different actual problems that plague the world. You know, I want to shift the conversation a little bit into media. You know, especially when it comes to you know, documenting the you know, all the different things that you've actually, you know, put in front of people. You know, Malcolm X once said that the media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent guilty and the guilty innocent, and that's power. You know, because they control the masses. Attacks on journalists and protests have surged, whether you are independent or you are actually, you know, coming from a different news source. They've increased. I wonder, you know, what are your thoughts on those who sit in power trying to curtail that the power of the media, as well as, you know, wielding the power of the media?
Damn, you know, he's actually like, that's like so powerful. I know I always get told that I'm a wild card in this movement because I legitimately will like call it as it is. A spade is a spade. I really don't care. And I've seen how media on both sides have actually been able to manipulate it, whether it's gaining sympathy or anger or just fueling aggression on so many different passions that I've been like, oh hell no, Larry. But there's countless of times where I want to bring up a particular moment in Portland, Oregon during the entire Feds week when everybody was going over those buildings and destroying it. Everybody's wearing gas masks. It's kind of hard to really see. So there's some times where like I can't breathe. So I take off the gas mask so I could be able to breathe. while I'm doing that, I'm watching there, and there's thousands upon thousands of protesters out there. But there was this particular scene, and I call it a scene because I've been traveling the country. I've seen a lot of protests. I've seen, you know, anti-fascist groups doing their stuff. So I done seen people, you know, I've basically watched protesters protesting, right? I've never in my life seen a beautiful barricade the way that it was projected at Portland, Oregon one time. And I was literally like, what the hell just happened? Like, and I was like asking everybody, I'm like, yo, did anybody else just witness these people come together and put this scene together? Like, put the crime scene up, put the whole thing up. It was beautiful. It looked like the protesters really barricaded that building. And I was damn near about to give them their props, but I remember they're not that smart. Like, they've never been this smart. They've never properly barricaded a building this well before. And then I saw members of the press go right back to their cameras and take photos of it. And so I was just like, oh wow, they're gonna definitely make it look like they were really like some militant type group out here really doing the damn thing. And I'm just like, they are not like that. Like, we're using leaf blowers and shit. Like, we're not skilled. Like, and I in no way, shape, or form and shit on leaf. I love the leaf blowers. They have helped me out so many times. Like, and when people don't realize that it is a war zone out there, and they're not military people, so they use what they can. They use their water bottles. They use their umbrellas. You know, it's literally, I feel like it's Jimmy Neutron. It's kids over taking over the world type stuff. And I'm just like, this can't be real. Like, this can't be real. Like, I'm watching people like wielding weapons, like they really in some stuff. So I do see how media, it's almost like sex sells. So trauma sells. You know what I'm saying? So right now during the Black Lives Movement, seeing bodies, seeing police brutality, seeing all that, it sold. It was hot. It was popping. And that's where you got the people called ambulance chasers were called, always going out there and always be running to the scenes. And that's one thing I never wanted to get caught up in, was because I did see a lot of activists now. You'll see them on a shade room, whatever the case may be. You could be doing something out the kindness of your heart, and yank, they'll just be like, ambulance chaser, vampire sucker, look at this person, clout chaser, clout. And it's just like, wow, like it makes you, it kind of make you be like, damn, I don't want to, like, I see how if we're looking at like church and state, you separate church and state. I get how like Joel Osteen, that's that Christian guy.
Right.
He just want like $1 million houses, Lamborghini. He driving all that. I understand why everybody up his butt. He's supposed to be gladness and close to Jesus. So he's supposed to be a humble man. But when did social activism mean that I got to be a broke bitch too? So this is where I don't understand. This is where the fine line where I want people to understand that this is let's be real. We need to be real. This is the reality that we're living in. And social activism doesn't pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? Supporters, fan base, that pays the bills. Sponsorship, that pays the bills. So once you start making money in other facets, people almost look at you like, how dare you get money from the white man? Who you pay me. I don't need to get the money from the white man. You pay me. Anybody could pay me. I don't discriminate. Like, so it just infuriates me because I see that, and I kind of like have to like walk on eggshells, because I'm not out here. I am not a Malcolm X. I am not out here screaming that stuff like I really know what it is. So I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm like, I'm being real, and I gotta eat. So
that definitely makes sense. So so do you feel like you've ever like engaged with anyone that has you know, like that has brought it to your attention that, hey, like, you know, that this seems like clout chasing?
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like, how can
I just want to give a special thank you, Amanda Seals. Like, thank you, Amanda Seals, because when she reposted my work and I gained like 6,000 followers overnight, and people automatically assume I never, this whole journey, I never had a fan base. Like, I just want to say congratulations. I saw you just got over 11K. That's what I'm talking about, Black media.
I appreciate that.
And so like, I was one of the people, like, I overnight, I went from 5,000 to 12,000 to 13,000. Like, it was just like, and I don't like the attention. I think I deleted over 1,000 people on my Instagram since I started getting the popularity. And most people would look at them and be like, why would you do that? Because they're called trolls. Trolls don't help my algorithm. Like, when I started realizing what that was, you now have to decipher. You can't be getting that. And like, and when I look at people and I tell people, like, y'all so worried about that number is superficial if it don't back it up. If you don't have no numbers with that number, then what is the point of that number? Why would I have 11,000 people watching my stuff and then you post a story and you only got 5 people looking at you? Why would you be out here talking about let's get some stuff dug? If your follower fan base does not react to your stuff, there's a problem. there's a thing. I done been viral so many times and I shit on nobody. And when people say I want to go viral, somebody, it is simple to go viral. You just have to have a niche that someone wants to see. You know what I'm saying? And so I unfortunately, social justice is so juicy to people that's what they wanted to see. So because I was on the front line and happened to always be in those cities when some shit went down, people just looked to me like, yo, this girl, she definitely on there. She's definitely the one. She's definitely the go-to. So it became a responsibility that I didn't ask for, but hell, somebody got to do it.
Talk to me about Sleuth Gang. What are the goals? What are you trying to do with that?
Sleuth Gang, how did I create you? My mother hates the name, by the way, because she has the word gang in it, but I keep telling her, like, do you not know what sleuth means? But I definitely would love Sleuth Gang to maneuver kind of like media outlet, kind of like the shade room of the revolution. You know what I'm saying? Like, but on like an international front, because it's not just here that matters, it's everywhere that matters. So I just want to be a hub and have sleuthers all around the world dialing in, tuning in, and like we just branch out to different partnerships with, like, you know, the Citizens app and like different organizations, and we just tap in and we just keep everybody connected.
Do you feel like it'll reach that point within this year, next year? What do you feel? Do you have
yeah, shit. Sleuth Gang was only me and one other person, and all of a sudden we got 11,000 more people. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty fucking sure it's gonna get there. If I was doing this by myself and I got into a couple, like, into the hearts of a couple thousand people, you just put me on a bigger platform, put me on a bigger screen, and yeah, Sleuth Gang will get there. Sleuth Gang will get there.
Definitely. You know, I want to turn it a little bit to something, because, you know, you touched on it a bit, but I want to, you know, about education really quickly. You know, you got your bachelor's from Berkeley College in criminal justice and police science. You know, I wonder, you know, do you feel like you find yourself wielding that knowledge a little bit more now, ever since, you know, what you were used to do?
Oh, hell no. I feel like I use that on the front line. Like, man, I was a criminal justice major. Y'all make me sick. Y'all make me sick. I was upset. Your girl wanted to be a cop so badly. And not only that, I wanted to be a federal agent. Oh, wow. I used to think that it was so dope. I would be thinking I'm going to be at Quantico. Used to be just thinking like I'm going to be over here having a little gat on me. Not anymore. Because I never was taught my history. I didn't even know about slave catchers. Like, I didn't know nothing. I didn't know nothing. Like, I wasn't paying attention to the KKK and all that stuff. The correlation between slave catching, KKK, police department, like all in one. You know what I'm saying? So when I found that out, I damn near felt like y'all robbed me. Y'all robbed me. I could have been doing something else in my life. Like, I could have been in business. I could have been doing something else. And then now I'm over here like, wow, I'm just so upset at, like, myself for wasting time. But I'll be okay. That it made sense. Criminal justice, social injustice, all justices.
You know, talk to me about being from the East Coast and, you know,
yes.
What you saw as you were growing up that, you know, put you on the path for film, and that, as well as, you know, that transition into what you're utilizing your film for.
I think moving around. Actually, I think bartending is the reason that helped me out now more than anything. I think being a bartender, at the end of the day, you're somebody's sister, somebody's therapist, somebody's wife, somebody's best friend. It doesn't matter. You're just that person at that time. And I was able to adapt between different states, different cities, different cultures to be able to maneuver. And I feel like all those skill sets actually helped me on the front line. I never knew what it was like to be on the front line. And I actually never even called myself an activist because I didn't understand what it took to be an activist. I thought you had to go to school for it or something. And so I was really just like, it was really just, I told you, ignorance is bliss. Like I was living in that beautiful ass bubble. And I am just like, I hope, like, going forward, I know, I realize how important the work that we're doing is now. And I don't like, downplay it. I'm tired of downplaying what we're doing. It's so important, and I'm just tired of making it seem like it's nothing.
I feel it. You know, you definitely can't downplay I mean, golly, like you've been to so many different cities and states, you know, doing exactly what it is that you're doing. I wonder, you know, the knowledge that you gain from there. What is something that you feel like you use day to day? You know, I know you said you picked up a lot of some when bartending, but you know, from all this moving around, like, what is it, something that you carry with you that you feel like, okay, this skill is what I need to use today and for the rest of my life?
I think I learned how to keep going. To be honest with you, we lost one of our comrades, Travis Najdi, in Louisville, Kentucky. And like one of his last things that he said is keep going. He made a message about having all hands on deck, and at the drop of a dime, everybody was out there. So it's like, I think that in this hardship, in this time, like, he died telling everybody else to keep going. So if I'll be damned if I just stand stagnant.
You know, I feel like that right there is that right there is powerful. You know, a powerful reason to continue to move forward. You know, I also feel like it's extrinsic, right? Like it's someone else's death. Do you have? And I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, I really am.
Nah, that was probably the worst experience on the movement. I know, like, my followers like were watching it live because I was there. And it was so cold. Kentucky's not that cold sometimes, but sometimes it can get fucking ice cold. And that night was the worst night ever. It was that's how real the movement felt. It felt like they were just attacking us, and I really was just like, damn, like, this is not a game. Like this is not a game. Like they're out here killing people. This mattered. And he was just doing that to seek justice for Breonna Taylor. So that's why I always want people to remember that, you know, today's a great day to arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor. Okay, praise the Lord.
That's real. People are really fighting down on the front lines, everybody. I hope y'all understand that. You know, like I said, we appreciate the work that you're doing, because, you know, we definitely need it. I wanna definitely transition the conversation into what this interview is for, and you know what we try to do over here, and that is, you know, philanthropy. You know, garnering support for a charity or nonprofit that you care about. I wonder, you know, what charity or nonprofit would you like to spotlight today, and why is the cause that it faces so important to you?
A charity and nonprofit would probably be Boss Bay Area. They're like this dope nonprofit group that like works and based out of Oakland, California. And I honestly just like how they incorporate community work and actually incorporate like realness. Like there's some nonprofits that will make stuff like, you know, like, let's have a charity day or let's do this. And it's like, it'd be mad corny. Like when I went to Boss Bay Area, man, it was playing hopscotch. They were playing double dutch. And it was like, it's like Philly versus Chicago versus New York it was so lit. Like I love the way that they incorporated. They help people with like housing, and they help the houseless community. They just help in so many different aspects. I actually had no idea that they were a nonprofit until they were just like, how you think we do all this? And I'm just like, oh snap. Like I just thought like y'all were rich or something. Like I don't know.
Just thought we're rich.
I definitely know that they are definitely the group to look at, and I'll definitely give them a shout out.
Most definitely. So Boss Bay Area is in fact a charity or nonprofit. Everybody definitely want to throw some support behind them. I'll be tagging them at the bottom of this video as well.
Yes.
But they know. Man, I want to let you know before I ask my final question. One, I'm speaking nothing but life, peace, blessings over you. You continue to maneuver through this world. Like you are doing the important work that is necessary, and like I believe in you, yo. Like I want you to know that. Like I'm honestly honored to be sitting and talking to you.
Thank you.
For real, like, you know, it's been a long time coming, and you know we definitely all going. Oh, save this live. Oh, trust me, mom. This one going on YouTube and everything else.
They think that it's going on my page. That's why I'm like, no, it's going on his page. Y'all gonna have to make sure you follow this king to watch it again.
Yeah, most deaf. But for real, like everything you're doing, the things that you want to come to fruition, it'll happen.
Thank you, King.
That perseverance that you gained along the way, keep that, and it all come to pass.
Thank you. Coming to a screen near you.
Oh,
I'm serious. I'm trying to get my documentary to be on Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, whatever the Lord want to put out there. Go ahead, bang, bang.
Hey man, this gonna happen.
You're gonna have to be there at one of my viewing parties. I'm gonna have you there. You're front and center. Okay. Make sure you set that up.
Oh, Deb, I come through with the hat too. You know,
we love to see it.
Let me know you did.
We love to see it. Shoot. Are you silly?
If you have me, you know. But no, before we close out, my final question, and we always like to close with wisdom for the next generation.
Yes, my little babies.
For the little babies, because just in case, you know, we don't see it within this generation.
They out there. Don't let them fool you. Them babies, them got me up.
Hey, and they inspiring.
Yeah.
Like, they are inspiring. They make you step up and be like, yo, you know what? I
tell them all the time, y'all may eat Tide Pods, but y'all got something in y'all. Y'all got something in y'all. Because I'm watching, I always give credit. I wish I got these girls' names. I'm so mad. 3 13-year-old girls. We were outside of Brooklyn Center Police Department right after Dante Wright died. And they are gassing us, shooting us rubber bullets. And this girl put up her blanket to protect her little sister because we don't got no gas masks. We don't got nothing. And like, cover your nose. And she just like, fuck the police. I was like, this shit is, oh shit. Like, I was like, I can't go. I can't run back there. These little girls are right here getting got. I have got to stay on the front lines. I'm like, fuck it, we all getting shot. Like, yo, let's go. Like, it is crazy. And they're just like, man, it's so fun. I love protesting. And I'm just like, yo, these pandemic babies, they built different. Like, they enjoy this shit. Like, but they're just so, like, they see the bullshit and they are just not with it. They're like, you know what? I'm running to be senator. I'm running to be mayor. I'm like, yes. They're like, fuck the presidential election. Local election is where it matters. I'm like, yes. The babies are
yeah.
God,
they getting it. They are getting it. That's amazing. I'm honestly, man, it gives me goosebumps to know that they're thinking like that. Like,
yeah.
No,
I'm very proud of them. And I everybody always asks, what would you tell the youth? What? Tell me what to do. Like, what you mean? This is your revolution. What shall I do to you? How can I serve you? That's all I'm asking. The only questions to the youth is how can I serve you? Because as much as we acted like, when we look back at it, like, them was babies back in the day getting beat up. Them was babies getting spat on. Them was babies that was having the salt poured on their heads and being called all types of names at the counters and being, y'all can't tell me that these kids are too young. Ruby Bridges, okay? Yep. Emmett Till, okay? Stop telling that these kids are too young. They're not too young. You need to grow the fuck up and teach these kids so that way we don't have to be in this redundant ass fucking juxtaposition. I'm tired of this. I really want to go to sleep. I don't want to be marching. Like, I'm tired. I only did this for 1 year. I'm talking about 40. All my life I had to fight.
All my life. Man, look, man, I really had my question, and I'm just gonna read it. You know, we always like close with words of wisdom for the next generation.
There you go.
What words of wisdom would you have for those who may want to follow in your footsteps? And you basically just said, man, talk to me.
I'm with it. Emmett Till unveiling the Busy Wife 2017, August 28th. Ooh, okay. We're going to have to top that now. Okay. But, no, but I thank you because this is definitely, I want people to know about the work that I've been doing. I want people to know about what's been going out there. I have so much footage that I literally could write a book, a documentary, just a TV scripted show, whatever. I don't care. I have all this and I need it to get out. Like, I need people to know that they weren't out here. People thought like the protest died, and it didn't die. It just was in a different state. And I was blessed to be able to travel along those states. And I want to make sure that these stories get told. These families know that their loved ones will never die in our eyes, and that we are going to get justice for all stolen lives, because I'm sick of this. I'm really sick of this. So.
I'm glad to know that, you know, there are people that still, I'm sorry, man, but like, it's gonna bother me. So they was out there shooting 13-year-old kids with
yeah, there was Mason 8-year-old girls. They was doing all that. This not even bad. That's why I keep saying, like, y'all need to bring more of your kids out to the protest. Bring more of your kids out to the protest, because if people think that like a child is oh my God, so innocent, Micaiah Bryant, like we've lost our babies too. Like, what you mean? Like, I don't understand. But then when I could see an 11-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy with 2 AK-47s having a shootout with police officers in Florida, and the officers are begging them kids to put it down. Please, 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 I don't want to shoot you. I don't want to shoot you. I know that cops have the ability to de-escalate situations without killing people. But for some reason, when it's black and brown lives, they just can't see any other way besides them being a threat to their life and then executing them. And that's my problem. I do understand that criminals need to be prosecuted, but I don't think that cops should be the judge, the jury, and the executioner.
Sure. How can we support you? What can we do to make sure that, you know, we uplift you?
Follow me. Look, scroll through. I have over 1,000 posts. I know it's a lot, but just go to my page and just Russian roulette. Scroll down, pick on a video, share it. Just share it. I am going to be going out, creating a campaign to be raising money to be able to try to get this project edited with a few editors. It does take a lot of money. I definitely had no idea what to inquire to actually create a documentary, but I definitely know that it does take a village. So I am going to be doing some crowdfunding later on to try to be able to get this, because I want to let people know this is $1 million project, baby, and I'm $1 million. Like, I'm not even joking with y'all. The amount of work, the fact that the FBI wants my footage, the fact that all this fucking stuff, like, baby girl, I was in the trenches. Boy, stop. Somebody needs to see this.
Almost definitely. And like I said, when it comes out, you let me know so I can pull up.
No, I hear you. I got you. Don't even trip.
Most definitely. I want to say thank you again, Ash, for coming through. You know, like I say, I hope you have a blessed, amazing evening.
I will. Thank you, King, for having me on. Thank you. Thank you, Sleuth Gang, for tapping in. Remember, the revolution will not be televised, but it will be broadcasted to you by a young God. Stay dangerous, y'all.
Peace. Man, oh man, you guys, that was really a frank conversation right there. Definitely, you guys tap in with Ash and the Sleuth Gang whenever you can. The charity she chose is Boss Bay area, so please make sure you guys throw some support behind that. If you enjoy what you see here, $ Ezel Moon, 60% goes to a charity or nonprofit shared on this platform. 40% goes to making this even better, and, you know, me doing these in person. Goodness, man, I have so many things to think about, and I'm pretty sure you guys do too. I appreciate y'all again for tuning in. I'm Ezel Moon. I'm not doing it unless it's fun and it helps people. Peace. Purchase my book, Purple Mike Wants a Bike, at Amazon.com. You can find it there. Just type in Purple Mike, type in Ezel Moon, and it'll pop up. If you guys want to follow me, no, not even if, go follow me at Ezel Moon _ on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Ezel Moon, and I'm not doing it unless it's fun and it helps people.